Hello, everyone. Hey, happy Thursday. Not quite at the weekend yet, but we're getting there. Oh, fuck me. Oh, man. Oh, sorry. Here, let me turn it down. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I just remembered. So everyone, really fast. First thing, Dylan0114. Quick shout out there. He put together, I forgot to put them in the stream, bro. I'm so sorry. I'm going to do it ASAP. But he created a bunch of sub badges for us. Variations of my logo. And it's really fucking cool. And I'm going to put them on Twitch soon. So all of you who have like month sub badges will get like a cool little bonus. So everyone, big round of applause. Thank you to him. Thank you very much, Dylan. I promise I'll get it in there ASAP. What is up, y'all? This is Zelda. This is the Hyrule Field theme from Ocarina of Time. A classic. Actually, I don't know if I'd call it my favorite game of all time. It is so... Like, I think that there are Zelda games that are my favorite over it now, but my god, does it hold a special place in my heart. I wear a ring that is a reference to Zelda Ocarina of Time. I've told that story before. Anyway, what is up, y'all? I hope you've had a wonderful week. Pardon my franticness because I am very over-caffeinated right now. All of you who were saying Pokemon, Cisco, Rush, as you said that, I was listening to it, and you can hear a lot of similarities, so I can see how you might think it's Pokemon. There, like, certain parts are very, like, Pokemon reminiscent, almost to the point where I'm like, shit, did Koji Kondo do some of the OG Pokemon songs, or, like, what's the deal there? Anyway... Y'all, it's getting pretty wild up in here. Let me turn this down a little bit for myself. We're getting really fucking close to release. I have kind of... So, here, let me bring up my progress report. So, I have kind of like a weird situation to... Oh, yeah. Thank you, Locust. For those of you who don't know, who didn't see on Twitter, I had a pretty frustrating scenario last week where just... Because of just a software glitch, really a genuine software glitch that like no one could have seen coming. I lost about 8 hours of work. That shit sucked. I'll be honest with you. It was like 8 hours of super monotonous work. However, the next day, that was last Thursday. The next day on Friday, I did manage to make the work back up. And I did it faster. Obviously, it goes faster the second time through. And I also actually discovered some techniques for automating what I was doing. It was like some crafting stuff. And that's certainly going to come in handy in the future. So I think that, you know, the net gain, like, is that I did learn some stuff, and that's always useful. But that was a bummer, for sure. Anyway, and actually, here's what we'll do. Let me get, where's my mouse? There it is. I'll take you. So this, that's not what I wanted. Select. Crafting enhancements. You see that? I'm going to delete that. And this is what we're going to do. Put this here. That shit is staying pure green, y'all. In fact, we can actually test some of this. I haven't gotten to test it a whole lot on stream, but I can do that. So that shit is done. Like, I'm really happy about that. Just, I mean, I'll show you guys kind of what the changes and stuff were. So that is done. I'm going to go ahead and take new player experience, and I'm going to upgrade that to about, let's say, this one's not going to be completely done, but we're going to go like this. Experience. And I'm going to say this right here can be purple. And what that purple represents is basically like the startup, like the class stuff from diverse character creation, the edits that I have to make there. I'm basically including that. So the rest of this has been like just fixing little bugs. I managed to fix and isolate. It was actually really, really hard to do this, like surprisingly difficult. But some of you remember how we were getting an occasional crash on startup during like the startup operations, the MCM stuff. I managed to track that down to widget add-on for Dirt and Blood and Bathing in Skyrim. I'm like 99% sure that was it. It was just really, really hard to diagnose because it only happened sometimes. And let me tell you, when you were trying to diagnose a crash, that only happens like some of the time, it is very, very difficult to get it. You know what I mean? It's like it's one thing if it consistently happens every time, then it's easy to just kind of binary test, but it is difficult. Thank you so much for the sub. CP Max 8 months. My gosh. Thank you so much, bro. I really appreciate it. Did my notifications pop up there in the video? Who can say? Who knows? Let me answer these. Will Old Sky have a gameplay only? Yes, Mike Forlock. That is what I am lovingly titling Potato Mode. Didn't pop. I didn't think it did. I would have heard it. I don't know why it's not. I'll have to check on that later. Thank you so much, Mike. Did I miss any other questions? I think we are chilling for now. Yeah, so this basically represents some of the diverse character creation stuff, right? Which I'm really excited about. And it shouldn't be too bad. Famous last words. So let me go ahead and, for this part, I'm going to explain some stuff to you guys here, because we have kind of a weird scenario on our hands. So you guys might know that there's kind of a quote-unquote Nexus drama at the moment. We've talked about it on stream before. The drama is that the Nexus, in order to facilitate their own collection system, is no longer going to allow mod authors to straight up delete their files. Those files instead they'll be inaccessible to users from the mod page, but the files will still be there on the server in the form of an archive. And the purpose of this is to allow mod lists and collections to continue to access those files so that mod lists are not broken the second that someone removes their files, right? So that's great for us. It is naturally something that has polarized people within the community. Not everyone agrees with it. And so the Nexus has offered a 1-month grace period for anyone who is not down with this new system to, you know, just remove their mods, like no questions asked, basically. Thank you for the sub, Alan. I don't know why it's not showing up on the thing. I'll have to fix that afterwards, but thank you for 7 months, Alan. That is really kind of you. So all of that is the preamble to kind of describe where we're at now. The biggest thing, like the file updates might take a while, because this is basically like the way that works, right? Is like I've been working on this list for a year and 7 months now. So naturally, I mean, I've updated certain mods as I've gone along, but a lot of these mods will probably need updates. Not all of them are like mission critical updates. The ones that absolutely need to be updated are ones that we can no longer access, right? So that might take a little bit. I really can't say how long it's going to take, because usually it's not so bad. It's just that there might be a lot of them. Anyway, the real big time sink is this one right here, the optimization pass, right? The optimization pass, refers specifically to me optimizing the cities, the open cities world spaces. We've talked about it before. You guys have seen me do a little bit of it. It's, you know, sprinkling our beloved performance cubes around, and also just removing kind of random shit. So that's probably the biggest major thing that is still on the table, that is the barrier to release, right? The issue with that is that there is a non-zero chance that, for those of you who don't know, Open Cities is a mod by Arthmore. Arthmore is a very famous modder developer who has been involved in a lot of different projects. He's on the unofficial patch team. He is also someone who has been very outspoken against this change that the Nexus is making. Because he has been so outspoken about it, and because he recently, there is a Nexus mod author Discord server, right? That he recently, I heard that he left that server, kind of like in protest. So to my mind, there is a non-zero chance that Arthmore may decide to remove his mods from the Nexus. And if he does, that means Open Cities would be removed, some other mods would be removed, like Cutting Room Floor. There are a couple mods that we use in the list that are Arthmore's mods. Cutting Room Floor, those mods would not be super difficult to deintegrate. And Open Cities, that one would be tougher for sure. But it's something we could do. I really hope we don't have to, because, you know, I love Open Cities. I love all of these mods, right? But obviously it is his decision and his right to do what he feels is right. And I'm somewhat hesitant to spend, hours and hours and hours optimizing on the optimization pass, just to kind of have all that work be for nothing. Because if I do that for the sake of, or if I do it in the open cities version of our cities, which is what they are right now, it is going to be like that. All of that work is going to be wasted, or it's just going to be unusable, we'll say. Thank you so much for the gifted sub, Gaxbackle. Thank you very much. He could rehost it somewhere else. I think that's what, if he did, yeah, okay. To be clear, like the unofficial Skyrim Special Edition patch, it is very, very unlikely that that's going to go down because he is not the only author on that patch, or on that team. Yeah, what Jay is saying. I don't believe that everyone on that team wants to leave, so you would need kind of like a unanimous vote is what my understanding is. But there is at least a chance that the rest of it could go. I don't know what he's going to do. It's his decision. I would hope that he doesn't leave the Nexus, because that's obviously going to be a huge loss for all of us, and it is what it is. But until we know whether or not that's going to happen, I'm a little bit hesitant to do that optimization work. So what I was planning to do in the meantime is just kind of clean up the rest of what's in there, just kind of add polish, and I've just been kind of finding little things to do. There's still plenty to do, right? So that's kind of been my perspective on it. So this week was kind of weird because after I finished making up the work on the crafting enhancements, I that's what I was going to do next, and then I heard that he left the Discord, and I was kind of like, oh, well, maybe we'll hold off on that. So yeah, what Alan is saying is pretty much true. The cutoff date is August. Is it August 7th? It's August 5th or August 7th or somewhere in that ballpark. I know that the Nexus said that they will honor any requests for removal that are made before that date. It's almost like just make sure your request is postmarked by that date. So I guess it is theoretically possible that mods might be removed after the fact. But really, Open Cities is the big one, just because that's the one that is still involved, or that's the one that we still have a big task that is kind of reliant on Open Cities. So we'll just kind of have to see about it. Hold on a second. I'm going to pause my Hyrule Field main theme here. Boom, baby. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to have to kind of find other stuff to do. There's still been like quite a few things for me to, bother myself about. And I still have to do the file update. So there is stuff to do. It's just, it's a tricky situation, and we will kind of have to see how it plays out. Maybe we will learn more as things go along. And maybe he will make a statement of some kind. I don't know. It really could go a million different ways, and we're just going to have to wait and see is where we're at. So with that said, what can we do today? There's a few. I dropped a couple new mods in here. So we had to replace nethers. That was one of the things that we did. So I have a, here we go, a followers section. Right here. Where is it? Camera. There we go, follower management. So these are kind of our 5 mods that are now covering followers. We owe Lexi's Legacy of the Dragonborn for doing research into kind of what would make a suitable replacement. Thank you for the Prime sub, Finn. Much appreciated. I think it pretty holistically covers everything else that we needed. So that is in there. Oh no. Yes, I mean, you guys basically have the right of it. Hello, Alteron. Yes, I will have to send this slightly updated list to Lizzie, Mika. What else do we have in here? I just like a couple little things, like RP chopping and mining. I tossed in there. We can test that. I updated honed metal. Actually, that's something we can check on. Why don't we go ahead? Let's go ahead and launch, and we'll see. Oh, and this is something else I wanted to test today for the purpose of Requiem and diverse character creation playing nicely. kind of want to see what happens here. We'll go ahead and launch the game. Let's see what happens. Yeah, so I mean, I can't give you a release date. I think it's fair to say that the release, even if, let's say that, you know, for the sake of conversation, that open cities were not at risk of being removed, I think it's sensible for us to wait until after that Nexus deadline, because we don't want to have a scenario on our hands where we launch and then suddenly, you know, mods go offline and we have to fix it immediately, and just, it would make the launch a lot rougher than it would potentially need to be. I think it's sensible of us to kind of wait until afterwards, and especially when this change basically signals that we won't have to worry about this kind of thing in the future, you know, knock on wood. Yes, exactly. February snow. That must be January snow. Thanks very much, Jerry. I know of archery gameplay overhaul. It's something that I've kind of stayed away from because of how much Requiem does to archery. But there, you know, never say never. Gotcha. February snow then. Yeah, it's like what Conrad's saying. I do think that this is, I mean, obviously for us it is a positive change overall. Here, let me up the volume as well so you guys can hear beautiful Skyrim. Obviously, this is a really positive change for mod list authors like myself. I contend, too, that it will be cool for mod authors because, like, we have a lot of data at this point that shows that when mods are included in mod lists, like, the amount of downloads they get, the amount of endorsements they get, the amount of donation points they get, all of these metrics, pretty much any metric that you can think of, kind of skyrockets and is sustained at a higher level over time. So if that's, you know, if you're the kind of mod author who cares about that kind of thing, it can be really, really cool. Or if you're the kind of mod author who just wants as many people as possible to be playing with your mods, it can be really, really cool in that sense. There are obviously other considerations. Not every mod author cares about that kind of thing. I do think it is the right move. I think that Nexus, okay, this is the tricky part, is that, like, the reason I think that a lot of these authors are so protective of their, you know, right to remove the files and just their permissions in general, the permission scene, is because historically that is what Nexus has, that's the permissions environment that they have created. They have generally backed up mod authors in conflicts of permissions, for better or for worse. And so this is, you know, I don't, it makes sense to me that the mod authors kind of have these expectations. With that said, to their credit, the Nexus has been, in my opinion, very conciliatory. They recognize that this is kind of like an impasse where they, you know, they want to go this way and some mod authors want to go that way. And unfortunately, in this particular instance, I think the Nexus has gone to great lengths to compromise over the years in these instances. This is just one of those areas where there's not really a compromise to be had. It's like either you're okay with your files kind of being archived or you are not. There's really not a lot of compromise that can be in those areas. So, with that said, I thought it was a really classy move of them to let mod authors who don't agree with this change, to let them remove their stuff. I think that that's really, it's the best kind of solution for everyone involved. We'll just kind of have to see. I think the majority of authors don't really, they either like the change or they just don't care that much. There's definitely a group of mod authors who vehemently does not like the change, which I understand. And some of them are leaving, other ones are not. I hope that the ones who are kind of trepidatious but choose not to leave will get to experience some of the benefit over time that I think, you know, mod lists kind of bring to the table. We'll see, you know. We're just going to have to see how it plays out. Yes, Dylan, the Havoc fix is, or it's not necessarily the Havoc fix itself. It's just part of SSE display tweaks, if I remember correctly. Let's start a new game here. Is it really that much worse a solution to just fail a mod pack install if it depends? I mean, it's really, really fucked, Gaxbackle. I will tell you firsthand. Because you're talking about lists that have 500 mods in some cases, if not more. It is a huge, because it's not easy to, it's not difficult to compile them, but like once you're used to the process, it's not easy either. It's like a lot of, like even making the smallest update requires a lot of work on the end of the mod author, or the mod list author rather. It's just, it has always been a huge problem for us. And the Nexus, I mean, I said this, like, we all said this back when they first announced collections. We were like, you know, and I've said this before on stream, like, if they want to do the same thing, if they want to make mod lists, they are going to run in to the same problem that we all have, which is that when one person deletes their files, it breaks the entire install. It's just not tenable. It's not tenable for people who are trying to do this stuff. And I mean, evidently, the Nexus agrees. I mean, that's true, Demon Corp, like, there, you could functionally do that. It's more just, like, something that we've prided ourselves on. I think this was always true for Ultimate Skyrim. I know that the other list authors feel the same way, generally speaking. It's important to us that we respect permissions, and that we respect the, you know, the rights and the generally the requests of mod authors, as long as it falls within, you know, the usage permits of their permissions. Oh, it's done loading. Gamaki. This stuff is just, it's like, it takes a while to clear all the messages, but it was done loading a long time ago. I'm just chatting. It is done loading long before the messages finish resolving. Although we do make people, at least on Legendary Edition, we make them wait just in case, because Legendary Edition is a bit more fragile. Yeah, I mean, again, it's really subjective. Yeah, me too, Jay. It is, well, just also, even just for the fact that you don't freeze to death in this area, right? So here's what we're gonna do. We are going to, so here's one of the changes that I made, right? If I hit end and we jump into character creation, so by default you will now notice, or you might notice, that the for all races and all genders, the high poly heads are now loaded by default. So you don't have to worry about, you know, making your character use the high poly head through some obscure setting, right? You have all this shit going, and also all of the eyes and the different facial features have been patched for expressive face gen morphs and expressive male and female facial animations. So, I mean, hopefully you guys agree. I think this is a huge improvement to just character creation and, like, the fidelity of the characters. We can kind of jump in here with any race, and you can see, sure, let's go Imperial, why not? You know, this is, like, kind of a weird complaint, but when I was going through and, like, testing all these, the Redguard presets just, like, feel recycled from, like, the Breton or, like, Imperial ones. It's, like, I wish that there were more distinct ones for, like, I guess each race, they're all kind of similar. Maybe that's too much to ask. This is an old game, 2011. Maybe they didn't have the development time. But here, we can switch race so you can see what that looks like. Here's our man. Classic Nord. Here's your Khajiit. Here's your Imperials. Your High Elves. Also, all of the... do you still have to do the sculpting? No, that was the next thing I was going to say. Reveal. Check this out. Ow. Sorry, let me stretch here. God, I need a massage. That would be so nice. Okay, this is what I wanted to check too, by the way. I need to check and see how their starting skills function, because I've been starting... Right now, Requiem is not starting on startup. I'm afraid that starting it before the game is, or before you've chosen your race, is actually missing or bypassing the skill bonuses. So I need to double check that. I'll probably do that today on stream. Also, just an FYI, I might have to make this stream slightly shorter than usual because I have to get ready for a trip that I'm taking this weekend. But hopefully it won't be too much. I have like a fair bit of time. So some of you might remember, let's do a high elf, shall we? Let's do this guy. No, don't finish. So some of you might remember that using the high poly heads kind of causes this issue sometimes where the shape of the head does not match with like some of the facial features. So like eyebrows will kind of clip through and things like that. So you will notice now it should be, because I went through and manually patched all of these two to redirect them to the proper files. Where's our brows? Brow type. It should be that as we go through these, none of them should be clipping, which does appear to be the case, and I'm very happy about that. Any chance you could see a Breton? Absolutely. Also, Alan, I'm glad you like the starter atmosphere. Also, Demon Corp, that is true, where like I do contend that a lot of mods can get more recognition in the context of a mod pack because they're obviously going out to so many different people, so many more users. It's tricky, I think a lot of authors have a hard time envisioning just what it'll be like as these things become more ubiquitous. I think it's pretty true to say that like one of the most defensible concerns I've heard from mod authors is that having the mods just in the mod packs and the collections, the mod lists, instead of like having people individually go to the pages, does kind of shift the location of like the interaction between mod author and mod user away from like the Nexus pages and the forums themselves. I mean, there's still going to be users who post there, but some of the interaction will then be in the like communities of like the mod packs themselves. I think that's true. I think it's fair to say that. I think it's factual, and it's kind of something that we will all find solutions to together. I think that where it becomes less tenable to me, or just like not reflected by reality, there's a lot of catastrophizing in the scene. There always has been. To be honest with you guys, if I had a nickel for every time I heard, this new change, XYZ change, is going to ruin modding forever, or no, it's going to kill modding. I've been doing this stuff for a very long time. I've been in the scene for like 15, 20 years at this point. Like, I know I've seen that kind of thing said a lot, and it's really never proven to be the case. I think people are just scared and they're nervous, and it's change. Change is scary. No one really knows what's going to happen. But I think it'll be okay. And that is what I have tried to share, hopefully. Here's a Breton. Someone wanted to see a Breton? Yeah, the least defensible argument, I'll go ahead and I'll take this hot take stance. It's really not that hot of a take, in my opinion. There are some authors who are like, mod packs and collections and whatever are no good because that way users aren't forced to do the things themselves, and like they should be forced to do all this stuff themselves because, I mean, there's many different reasons people offer. I've heard people say that it gives them a sense of pride and accomplishment, to do it. That it breeds more modders because people have to learn how to mod. That one kind of might be true, but I think something that people who say those things are not looking at or kind of fail to realize is that a lot of these, the reason why the user numbers and like the download numbers skyrocket when mod lists and mod packs are involved is because there's a whole ass audience of users who never had any interest in learning how to mod. If they did, they would be doing it already. They are people who just either don't want to do it, aren't interested in the technical side of things, or people who maybe would be interested but don't have the time to do it. Maybe they're adults now. A lot of gamers are between the ages of 20 and 38 and more. There's on either side. When you're older, like I can tell you guys firsthand, like Liz and I, my wife Liz, we don't even have kids. I already feel like I don't have any time at all to like engage with my hobby, or just like way less time than I used to. I think most people certainly in that scenario do not have the time to learn how to do these things and to, build out a giant mod list the way that you know, mod list authors do. So I think that the argument that like, oh, you know, mod packs are stealing users, I think that kind of falls flat for me. I think that that does not take into consideration the idea that a lot of these users were never ever going to do that stuff. These are not people who were going to be modders who are now not going to be because of mod packs. These were people who never ever were. And the side point to this is that if you want to learn how to mod, you still can. All the resources that are there now will be there after the fact. There are still so many, and then people are building more. There's like the Arcane University. There's groups like, there's the community has always had people who love to teach other people, and like it's very like open, and people love to help people learn. Like I've noticed that since forever. I don't think that's going away. And frankly, and I don't know this. I'm not, you know, premonitive or anything, but I think that there is a very good chance that we might see even more people who want to get into modding once they experience these mod packs, and maybe they want to tweak something themselves, like how it always starts for all of us. You start out with the mods, you go, oh, how cool would it be if I could, like, you know, change it a little bit, and then they kind of get into modding that way. If anything, I do think that there's a strong chance that we could end up with more people being interested in modding, just because we're inviting way more people into the scene in general. Like, I made this post in Skyrim mods noting some of the data that we'd collected from like the 4.0 release of Ultimate Skyrim, which was back in like, you know, April of 2019. There were like the first day that we released, in some cases we saw mods that were getting like 2,000% more downloads or more peak daily downloads than they were before, and then that number was sustained over time. So like that's a lot more people in the community who are participating and doing this kind of stuff. Anyway, Sir Donkey wants to see Khajiits. Let's look at Khajiits. Khajiits honestly could get a little bit more love. I think that they have some cool stuff going for them, but maybe somewhere along the line I'll give them a bit more. We got orcs, we got red guards, we got wood elves. I mean, to be fair, what I was saying earlier, like a lot of like the humanoid races do kind of tend to share presets. I've seen that. Lizards, we got Argonians. Argonians also, frankly, I mean, this is a very basic preset that does not look super impressive. The other ones are cooler. But Argonians could also use a bit more love, I think. I've seen a couple of really, really cool Argonian mods that we can probably fit in there at one point in time or another. There it is. Yeah, so it's a very tricky scenario. It's very interesting, though, is it not? Like, I recognize that some people are more upset than they are excited, and I'm really sorry for that, because I understand not everyone's going to parse it this way. Obviously, I have a biased perspective, because for years and years and years, this is what I was trying to do, is like lower, like even the very first version of Ultimate Skyrim, which was not auto-installable yet, the purpose of it was to lower the accessibility floor. There was one of the fellow list authors on the Wabbajack subreddit said that to me one time. I think it was JTK, where he was like, I noticed that Ultimate Skyrim's big focus was accessibility from the beginning. That is absolutely true. Let's get more people playing has always been my goal, and obviously this represents a shift towards that direction. So it's very exciting for me. But you guys know the yeah, Derpius, that's the one I have downloaded. I just have not installed it yet, but I do have it in the pile. You guys understand my perspective, my bias. Take everything I say, kind of evaluate it from that perspective, and just decide for yourself kind of how you feel, or feel free to seek out other people's opinions. Try to be as honest as possible about what my opinion is and where I'm coming from on it. All right. Why did that wood elf look like Ed Norton? Did he? Oh my god, he absolutely does. He absolutely does. Alright, well, we're going to be a wood elf. Alright, wood elf. I'm going to call him... Oh, spoilers. Anyone not seen, Fight Club here? Oh, shit. Well, alright, there it is. We're just going for it. Tyler Dirtelf. Continue. Dude, it's no worries. I think at this point, anyone who's not seen Fight Club probably does not want to. Uh-oh. Did I break something? I took too long. What happened? I think it's frozen. Well, we're off to a great start. What a wonderful scenario we found here. Let me see. Let's try that again. I hope that's not enough. Guys, if I had never had to, tracking down a big portion of one of my days this week was dedicated to... Yeah, can I please get some Fs in chat? A big portion of one of my days this week was dedicated to trying to track down that startup crash that was only happening some of the time. That shit sucked. Like, oh my god, it was so annoying. It's like I have shit to do, and it's not like easy to diagnose. Demon Corp, Winter Sun, and Sacrosanct, they're definitely like on the list. It's now that Simon's mods are he's like really filling out like a lot of these same areas, so I want to evaluate his stuff as well, and see how it fits. Yeah, naturally it's coming out tomorrow. Just, that was the whole thing. It was like the fact that this crash would just like sometimes happen right on startup, and like we're giving so much attention to the new player experience. It's like, what would really ruin a new player experience is if like 1 out of 2 times you try to make a new character, the game crashes. That would be super great. Yeah, I guess they were mad about the pun. That's a bummer. Well, it's cool, Carrot. Will I add extra creatures? Maybe, Bambi. That is kind of less of a priority for me. Excuse me. Just because what I like to do, and what I think Requiem's philosophy is as well, it's like, let's take all the character or the enemy types and like enemy varieties that are currently in the game and make them especially interesting and unique. Let's give them very strong like pros and cons, and kind of make it so that different character builds have distinct advantages and disadvantages for the creatures. If I were to introduce new creatures, that is something that I would absolutely want to do for them as well, and that is like a non-trivial task. That is a pretty difficult because you're essentially now you're talking about introducing kind of brand new balance elements, which is not impossible. It's obviously doable. It's just involved to like, I would not want to get new creatures in that just are basically reskins of like existing creatures. That's about like the last thing I would do. I'll have a 7-foot vampire lady. I'll have a Lady Dimitrescu, but she would just be a vampire. You know what I mean? We've got vampires. That's precedented. Do you have your final mod list decided? It would be fun to see what you settled on and tiers considerations. For the final for this version, just about, Chris, I am... it's mostly finalized. Now that I kind of have like a bit more time on my hands, maybe I'll kind of sprinkle in some other ones that I was considering putting in but didn't quite put in. But I have a huge list of like mods that I would like to put in the future, or at least like evaluate, right? So one of the things, so I'm going to be gone for like a week because Liz and my wife Liz, are going to her family's place in Wisconsin. She's from the Midwest, right? And while I'm there, I obviously won't be able to work on like the game itself because that's here on my good old machine. But there's a lot of kind of what you might call administrative work that I can do while I'm there that I plan to do, which is basically like me organizing our Jira environment, prioritizing. Like right now, the list of mods that have been suggested, or list of mods that I would like to look at, it's basically one big list. It's not prioritized in any way. So I'll need to go through that and like prioritize those, convert them to tickets for Jira, and just generally get our entire Jira environment kind of set up and cleaned up for when the SE version releases. I know that the team would be very happy if I did that. because right now it is not. I like this one too. It's cool. We have can I just show you guys, like, can I show off some of the eyes? We have so many. I don't know why this is like something that I think is really cool. I just think people's souls are evident in their eyes, right? So I want people to really be able to have like the coolest fucking eyes. We've got a lot of eye mods and there's a lot of hair mods, so you can really get nuts. Check this shit out. I want to show it off because it's also just such excellent work. So these are all retextures. Here's what we can do. We can, oh yeah, you guys can rotate. Show this off. You can rotate your character completely now, holding right click, which is a really nice touch. So I'm gonna give like a slight angle there. That shit sucks, Demon Corp. Hey, Midwest gang. Let me zoom in. Where's the shift secondary? Here we go. Zoom. That's a little bit too close. Okay, so we've got some eyes here. Maybe one step back out. There we go. Sliders. We've got so many variations. So these are the default ones that have been retextured. These ones from Eyes of Beauty are all beautiful. We've got Kala's eyes, which are also incredible. You can make, oh man, whatever you want. Oh, purple eyes for Dunmer? Let's find out, shall we? Here's your Dark Elf. We'll switch to a different preset. Dunmer eyes generally, by default, are red or purple or pink, the kind of Dunmer classic. But if you like, you definitely can change it to like regular. I believe, yeah, you have access to all the regular eyes as well. Elf eyes, human eyes, so you can really go nuts with it. You can do whatever the heck you want. Oh, the male skins could get worse. You don't like them? I think they're pretty good. They're a little shiny. That is for sure. Let's see here. All sex. I think that's pretty good, personally. I mean, they are a bit shiny, but that's also because of the lighting in this room. It's very, like, woo. That's the technical term for it. Scientific. But I think it's pretty good. Look at the Nords. They look a bit sweaty. Oh, here's some clipping on the beards. That's a bit weird. Okay, actually, let me write that down. I guess that makes sense because I didn't bother to patch the beards, but I know that they are, like, they have, where's my beard? Beard button. More paint facial hair. Here we go. So some of these are probably going to clip a little bit. Maybe I can find a patch for... We have a lot of beards, too. But you can see it's still using the baseline, like, neck. So maybe I'll find... Let me go ahead... Oh, high poly head. Here we go. Haha. Okay, there it is. So high poly head does have the beards. So then what I get to do... This is going to be tricky. Some of these beards of power. Let me write this down. Where is my notebook? So the fact that the... So high poly head provides its own versions of the beards. That's good. What that means is that these guys that are clipping, I can just reroute these so that they look at those by default, and you don't have access to the beards that are not supposed to be, or that aren't patched for high poly head. For beards of power, that might be a bit more. Oh, whoops. That might be a bit more difficult because it looks like they're using the default ones. If I patch those, it might fix itself. But I am going to write down that Beards of Power might need a patch for high poly head. There might be one out there. Say, Beards of Power. Try to make a character in his 20s. They look like grandpas. I don't think this guy looks like he could be in his 20s to me. What do you think, y'all? I mean, that beard doesn't help. HPH patch? Question mark? God, you guys want to see how that's written? Look at this. Let's see if I can. That's how I write when it's for myself. Can be in this character creation so long, Alduin might win. Maybe my 20s are a bit convoluted since I look like I'm about 16. Yeah, that's my writing. It's very good. I'm glad that you like the additional. I love making characters in these games. I mean, it's like the meme, right? Where like every Elder Scrolls game, so I was like, oh my god, like I'm gonna tweak every little fucking thing about their face, and if I'm playing Oblivion, I'm gonna make a character that looks straight out of like, what did you say earlier, Finn? The Uncanny Valley. It's just fun. It's fun to imagine who your character will be and what adventures they will experience. All right, let's try and replicate. We're gonna Wood Elf. Again, we're going to go Tyler Durdelf. Continue. I would love a random button. I wish that there was a... I guess, you know, one reason why a randomized button might not work is because, oh, no. This is, like, consistently happening. I can hear it's in a different location. Uh-oh, y'all. We might have an issue here. What is going on? Uh-oh. Well, maybe we'll do some, troubleshooting live. Y'all want to see what that process is like, because this is no bueno. Whoops. Here. Man, it's making me Control-Alt-Delete. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to launch it one more time. I'm going to shut up. We're going to try and pick a different race and then see if it happens. I'm going to jump through it. So this is the kind of stuff that you do encounter quite a lot when you try to build something out like this, where it's just like, oh, cool. Everything worked a little while ago. Now I've got some random issue where it's really unclear what the hell changed, but I can't start the game. Did it autosave? If so, you could try loading. It's possible, Liz. I'll try that next. Yeah, I'm going to try and go really fast. Here's what I'll do. I'm going to go really fast with the same character, the Wood Elf. And then I have a sneaking suspicion that it's still going to happen. And I'm going to try with a different race. And I have a sneaking suspicion it's still going to happen. We will see. Unleashment. Maybe if we can get it sorted fast enough, then you can still get some gameplay. Guys, I think I should just release it like this. What do you think? I think there are freckles, Alan. I'm not sure I've added any additional freckles, but if any of the other mods have, then then they'll be accessible, obviously. Also, Conrad, I can almost guarantee that there are mutton chops without a mustache, or with a mustache, both, honestly. Yeah, it really might, Derpius. When are you going to Cali, Lizzie? Yeah, it could be Alan. Alright, so we're going to wait, just like a little half second here to let... maybe it's because I commented out the Requiem starting scripts. But that would be weird if it just straight stopped it. Oh, if I release it in this state, you're going to take a visit. Yeah, just go on vacation. I think that's fair. It really would be cool if y'all could take a trip out here. I want the... What's it called? Ultimate Skyrim Team Con. I think that would be so much fun if we all got to be in the same place. A couple of us are like close by to each other, but then you have like Finn's far away in good old Canada. Well, I don't want to say where you guys are at if you don't want me to, but Finn clearly doxed. Several team members are elsewhere across the world. I'm glad. All right, that's probably good. So we'll try our Wood Elf male. Do it one more time. Again, I have a sneaking suspicion this isn't going to matter. I think it's still going to break. And then we're going to try an additional race. Look at that model. Beautiful. Oh. Well, so it's like it got further, but it's still getting fucked up. How interesting. It could be Requiem, because I broke Requiem scripts to do this. Alright. Task Manager. you. We're going to do this. And then we are going to, let me make sure all my plugins are loaded. We are going to, oh, you know what would be another thing we can do? Okay, I'm going to go here. I'm going to create a backup there. I'm going to load, not that. Not you either. Is this disabling some of them? No, they're still there. Because we have added plugins. Here, hold on. Okay, here we go. Let me just see everything that is here. This would be an easy way to test. Okay, okay, okay. All right, we're gonna try. It just works, y'all. 2 frames of gameplay. Yeah, it's 2 frames a second. This is what testing is like, I swear. It's like, it is fun sometimes. Because it's kind of like being a detective. You have to, like, you just have to grapple with, like, different logic. And it's where it's very much like being a detective, except for, you know, saving people's lives and all that shit. Solving crimes. Is that, like, you kind of have to go through, like, logical evaluators to try and determine what the problem could be. It is very possible to get, this is where it's, like, kind of detective-y, if y'all are into true crime podcasts, etc. If it's very possible to get erroneously attached or attached to an erroneous conclusion and kind of, like, base your testing off of that, and then find out later that you just kind of made an erroneous initial assumption that threw off your entire testing process. You start to learn over time kind of what's what, and you get better at it. But also sometimes, like, having that veteran view can be problematic. It can do the same thing. Like, anything that can kind of attach you to a particular outcome can be an issue. But if you're not under, like, a time crunch, sometimes solving bugs can be fun. It is a lot like, it's like a puzzle to solve. And it definitely, if you can, and not always, it's not always fun. Sometimes, especially if you have, like, a singular bug and it's taking a really long time, then it's kind of just like, ugh, I want this to work. But if you're in the right mindset and if you can kind of get yourself there, it's definitely more beneficial if you can enjoy it. I'm glad you like it, Demon Corp. I thought it was something that I'm considering doing as well is coding the startup process so that it goes like this and you just get to look at the whole mural and it's not obscured. Of course, I would also have to include, like, a message that says something to the effect of, like, the Ultimate Skyrim is loading, like, please wait until it initializes, like, it'll pop up and tell you when everything's ready or whatever. So we'll see. It'd be easy enough to do. Alright, we're going to do our Wood Elf. We're going to make a male. Race. There's your name. Let's see here. This will be interesting. This might make it okay. Nope, it's still freezing. Okay, then I have another idea. Let's do this. Next thing to try. Welcome to mod list authorship, y'all. Alright, so now we're going to take these, we're going to put them back. We are going to, let me make a small code change really fast. Honestly, this would be, I'd be pretty surprised if this were it. But we'll try. Save that. Let me open up some File Explorer here. We're going to go to source. We are going to run Papyrus compiler app. Yeah, might as well. Olive Garden breadsticks. Is that the solution to the problem or just something that will help us find it? Oh, whoops. No. This tool, by the way, for anyone who wants to compile scripts, cannot recommend it highly enough. Okay, that should just compile. Oh shit, actually it's not going to. I think I need to turn on, some other mods. Which one do I not have? Okay, that's all fine. It needs this. Go all the way down here. Turn on Frostfall. That's all. Whoa, there it goes. See, now it's working. Thanks for the follow, Shifty Yoda. Also, Julian Rod, I see you. Oh, and thanks for the cheer, Ron. I didn't see that. Tav Putis, thank you for the follow. Okay, so we got those. That should allow us to compile. It's not against Twitch TOS showing those biceps. Yeah, I think so. These I'm so strong with these complete wow, I just made my shoulder cramp by doing that. These biceps are nothing. Nothing, let me tell you. Not compared to where they have been in the past. Not like I've ever been like super jacked or anything, but I am certainly not in the remotely jacked category at this point even. That should work. Hey, all right, sweet. Let me just double check, make sure my script is there. It is. Now let's see. I don't know if this is going to fix it, but only one way to find out. Yeah, weapons of mass destruction. Yeah, you know what they massively destroy is cheeseburgers. They help me transport the cheeseburger straight to my mouth where I destroy it. Yeah, the next evolution of the dad body, dev body, totally. Soon, I'm going to get back into the gym, I swear, but it's fucking, the gyms are still kind of weird. I think like LA Fitnesses and stuff are starting to like have regular hours again, but like the gym I used to go to, they've technically opened back up, but they have really weird hours, like super reduced hours that are at like weird times, at least for my schedule. So that's kind of a bummer, and I've kind of just been like, I don't really have an excuse. Like if you want to be jacked, like there's so many things you can do that are just even like, you know, exercises at home. But I find that psychologically I like going to the gym just because then I'm there to do a specific thing. It kind of puts me in the zone. Know what I mean? We will see what happens here. I will be very surprised if this was the issue, but you never know. That's the other problem is I've gotten so proprietary with this list, right? Like there's so many little tweaks that are just completely proprietary and like me fucking around with code that like, you know how sometimes when you have an issue like with a mod or like if you're a programmer, you know, you go and search like Stack Overflow for help. It becomes harder and harder to do that the trickier we get with things. Like the problems we're creating are as proprietary as the features that we're creating, unfortunately. Yeah, it is tough, Alteron. Also, I felt bad right before we got on the stream. I was like, fuck, I still didn't listen to the soundtrack that Alteron mentioned. I promise you, I will. Mo mods, mo problems. That's what I always say. Hey, what's up, Murloc King? Yeah, it's like Fallout with magic. That actually sounds pretty fucking cool, doesn't it? Alright, that ought to be long enough. Let's see. Now you're going to have presets. Am I still able to mess with settings? Yes, Sergeant Muffington. So all the settings are configured by default, right? You can still go in and change them if you like. It just, you don't have to now. Oh wait, no. Gotta be Tyler Dirt Elf. We're doing good, Murloc King. I am trying to diagnose a random startup freeze that I have never seen before, that I most assuredly caused in some way, shape, or form.
I've got to get out of
yeah,
this
okay,
town.
so it's still happening. Okay, next step. How are you doing? I saw your video where you covered Sacroletius's world space transition tweaks, or whatever he called it. That was really, really cool. Yeah, me too, Hamfo. I'm going to be real sad if that's the reason we can't load. Yo, thank you for the follow. Vilcatus. Am I saying that right? That is a good fantasy name. Oh, cool, Alteron. I am stoked. Okay, next thing. We're gonna load just a random Nord. Is gonna be next. I think it's still gonna happen, but you never know. Hey, thank you for the sub, Vilcatis. Prime sub, thank you very much. Have I tried putting Skyrim in rice? Not yet. That'll be next on the list. Practicing a sport activity I truly enjoy. Oh, yeah. I know you were all about the HEMA, Conrad. It looks really cool. That would be a lot of fun. I also have a couple friends who started going to this like jiu-jitsu gym that looks really rad. I think that would be a good one. Excuse me. I told you guys I really liked that VR game Blast On, right? Like I was having so much fun with that. It's still really cool. And that reminds me, I have Half-Life Alyx now because I got it in the summer sales, like the only purchase that I made. Gotta play it at some point. Fuck, maybe I'll play that later this afternoon. I don't know if I'll have the time though. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, Sacrilegious has a lot of mods like that where it's like, I mean, that one's big. That's a crazy cool feature that he has added. But a lot of Sacrilegious' mods just do these like really cool. Every time I see one of his mods, I'm like, oh, why wasn't this in the game to begin with? Or like, oh, it's so much cooler now that this is here. I think he's well known. It's just I don't know, he's like a very understated, like humble guy. He just kind of flies under the radar in some cases, but those who know him, I think, have mad respect, and I know that shit's gonna blow up, especially because like I'm gonna include a shit ton of his mods in future versions, so hopefully that gets notoriety as well. So there goes Requiem. Oh, this would be, well, if we don't crash, this would be a good chance to. It's weird that it happens on character load. That is really odd. This is a weird one. It could be related to these, like, the high poly stuff. Alright, that's fine. I'd be so surprised if so. Also just shows you the importance of like smoke testing. Oh shit, homeboy. Oh my god, Tyler Dirt Elf, what have you done to us? Oh wait, no, it just froze. What is happening? This is very weird. No, yeah, I know it didn't just happen in that cell because it has randomly sent us to a lot of different places. Now I'm going to do what Lizzie suggested just for kind of information collecting purposes. This sucks. I've never seen anything like this before. I mean, it could be Sunhelm, but like Sunhelm has been fine. Like it's been starting up and doing, and it's already started up at that point. Oh, maybe because I have... No, but I had Frostfall turned off. Let's see what happens if I just start it right back up. I did not replace the mesh. I redirected. Yeah, you're right, Hamfo. It's Tyler Dirt Elf is the secret solution to all of this. I did not replace the vanilla mesh. I just in the plugin files redirected the file paths. We will see. There's an easy way to test for that. That'll just be removing the Ultimate Skyrim plugin, disabling it, and then trying to launch the game. We will find it, I promise you. Even if I don't find it on stream, I will find it at some point because, as you guys might realize, can't ship a mod list where you can't play it. It's not just the Wood Elves, though. Maybe that character was still Tyler Dirt Elf in spirit. Show all saves. All right, let's try it. Yeah, that could be Derpius. I was kind of worried about that. I was like, what's going to happen here? But my thinking was that it's like, yeah, it's still freezing. My thinking was that it wouldn't necessarily try to replace the heads of other NPCs, because those meshes, like NPC head meshes, are like generated in the CK for NPCs. I don't think it's quite like if I change this head part out, it then gets loaded in, but I could be wrong about that, because I've been wrong a million times before, and Skyrim likes to work like how it works. That is fair, Lizzie, as well. To be fair, I guess he doesn't release an automated list, so it's the user's fault. Okay, next attempt. If that is it, this is what will do it. Also, fuck, now we need to do this again, so that Requiem does not get mad at us for trying to start it without Requiem for the Indifferent. It just works, except for when it does not. Let's get some, what would be like a good... Ooh, full Banjo-Kazooie. Oh, no. Forest Temple? Oh, no, this is where it's at. That's too loud. Relaxing, rainy day, Animal Crossing music. How's that level? Is that a good, good levels? Or is it too loud? I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, back we go. These are all still turned on, so that's fine. Y'all like Animal Crossing music? Y'all like Animal Crossing? I love Animal Crossing. I love it way too much for someone who does not really play it anymore, but I love that it exists, and I just love all the character designs and all the... God, you want to talk about a game with beautiful fucking graphics and effects and just like such talented artists and modelers and etc. Like, that is Animal Crossing. Especially New Horizons has just such a crazy variety of objects and things like that. Also because it's the Splatoon 2 team. Clearly they're great at just art in general. I think most of that team has now been pulled off of Animal Crossing to work on Splatoon 3. Oh shit, that's crazy, Murloc King. That's very... God, it's very hard for me to imagine many things worse than dementia. It's just so cruel. I'm glad that there's something that could assuage it. I'm praying for the day. I'm not a religious person, but I'm not above saying that I'm praying for the day when dementia, Alzheimer's are a thing of the past. There's very promising research in both of these fields, or in just the field of neurodegenerative diseases in general. I feel like we're really starting to get close. Diabetes type 3, as they sometimes call it. Oh yeah, definitely Ultron. That's why I always told my my grandma and my grandpa, I'd be like, you guys are so bored at home all the time, why don't you play a video game? Okay. Yeah, I mean that was a lot of us. CP. I played it pretty extensively for that first couple months in quarantine when all of us... God, could you... Okay, I will say this. That game just came at such an important time for all of us, I feel like. Like, I know that it became repetitive quickly for like a lot of people, myself included, and I've just not managed to get myself to revisit it. I always kind of say that I want to, and I do, but there's a lot of games I want to play, and I don't have that much time. But like, my gosh, it was just so well timed. Like, I'm so grateful for that game because it just came at a time when we were all like so anxious and like so just in need of some relaxation and some comfort, and I will always be grateful for it. Grateful to it for that. Okay, now we're doing. So this is not the high poly head, I believe. I'm gonna double check that. Base part. Yes, it should not be. Prisoner. Oh, shit. Assassin's Crossing, yeah. Yep. Okay, here we are. So that's probably it. Well, that is unfortunate. Okay, you know how we're going to test it? At least we figured it out, though. That counts for something, right? What a beautiful forest day we found. Well, shit. Looks like my solution there is not going to work. Let me think here. Alright, here's what we're going to try and do. Turn this back on. And we're going to confirm that this is the issue by going into SSE edit. It's possibly that, Conrad. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to load our sick load order. Yeah, if I could go, I've said this a million times, I would just love to go into like a time cube. Like a cube where time flows more slowly. Or time is not, yeah. Like the same amount of time is passing outside the cube, but inside the cube, there's way more time, right? So I could play all these games. Could you imagine? That would be, what is up, Hawkeye? Could you imagine how much of a cheat code that would be to like life in general? Like if you could go into your time cube, spend like a day's worth of work, and then you come out and it's only been like 10 minutes. That is fucking nuts. What a weird, crazy, creepy, existential crisis idea that is. Okay, Alt Sky. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go to head parts. We're gonna take all of these. Maybe because it's not added as a master, or is it? No, it definitely would be. We gotta look. Is it gonna be down here? We're looking for high. I guess it might be at the top, because I think that might be a master, like master. Honed metal. Trade routes, immersive speechcraft. 100 moment. We're looking for high poly head. I think it's in here. I don't think you can just type it out either to try and find it. Come on. We got a lot of masters, don't we? Requiem. ELE. Here we go. We might hit it soon. Come on. I didn't see it in there. Did you guys? Okay. Well, first things first. Let's see. Here's what we're going to do. What's the fastest way to restore these values? We're going to copy as override. We're going to create a whole new patch. Let's make it just a standard ESP just to be safe. I'm going to call this HPH Troubleshoot. So we got that. I'm going to jump over here. Oops. Select all of these. We're going to apply the script. Restore values. Would you still age normally while in the time queue? That is a great question. Great, Pedinsky. I like how you guys both had the same question at the same time. That's hilarious. Construct a habitat in orbit just outside of the... Oh, yeah, you know what? You're right. I know enough about black holes, very little, but enough to have some idea of how that might work. Local streamer develops time queue to play backlog of games. That is like a hard times article or hard drive article. Yeah, you would. You'd die super young. That's fucked. Filter and report master filter for HPH. That is there. It is, Finn. There is one. I will check on it right now just to make sure I didn't miss it. Okay, replace restore values. File name. Shit. Okay, no, this is probably still gonna be faster. We need model. We need, yeah, okay, that's good. We need, file name 1. We need, did that work? That did not work. Uh-oh. Parts? There's no way that does not correspond in part. Well, you can try. I don't think that's gonna work though. Be cool if it did. Oh, it did. Okay, perfect. Fucking all right, sweet. So that is all. Oh shit, texture set we need as well. Okay. Hello, Murray. It is going great, except right now I'm trying to figure out why this one feature that I tried to force is causing a startup freeze. Yeah, my magic fuckery. It all looks like magic when you don't know what's going on, but I promise if you do, it's not that confusing. Okay, so now what we should be left with for all of these, we can just check them really fast. Yeah, we can, basically what we just did was we took all of these, we created a patch where it's, we've overwritten our, I didn't want to completely change mine back, so I just created a new patch to revert to vanilla. And we're going to use this to confirm that it is these record changes that is causing the issue. So if we save this, while I'm in here, I might as well check to see if... Also, you know what? Oh, you... Huh. Are there any... texture set? That's why we didn't... Okay. Yo! Thank you for gifting the tier 1 sub, Gax Spackle. Wow, 14 gifted subs. Much appreciated. Let me Yabba Dabba Doo, who's gift sub number 2. Beautiful. Modern day poetry. So, this one's interesting. What are you? Oh, it's from Browse. Okay. So that one's added as a master. I guess these ones don't need to be added as masters because these are just file paths. They are not... like, there's nothing here that would require a master to be listed, so I guess that makes sense. Alright. We're going to end. Yes, thank you very much, Gak. You're very generous. Are all the... everything still updating properly, like, in the labels at the bottom and stuff like that, right? Can we confirm? Okay, I think that's going to do it. Okay, I think... Alright, let's see. Alright, tight. Glad to hear it. Oh, I'm stretching. Oh, man. I'm gonna be... Y'all are gonna have to wish me luck. I am... shit, now that I think about it, I guess I should do next week's stream on Thursday, too, because if I stream on Monday, it's like, hey, I didn't do anything because I'm gone tomorrow morning. I'm going to be going to a bachelor party. What I was going to say is that I hope I'm not dead on Monday because I can't drink very well anymore, and I'm going to try and drink a lot of water and a lot of Pedialyte. And have you ever seen, what do they call them? Noons? That are like a little hydration tablet. You drop it in a pint of water and let it dissolve and drink it. It's supposed to help prophylactically and after if you have a hangover. But I'm very scared. Also, yes, Little Law, of course. Can I ask when Patreon peeps get a beta? Might join if it's soon. So everyone will get the beta at the same time. Murray, regardless of if you're a patron or not, because we can't like paywall stuff on Patreon. But we will have other fun bonuses, just not that. So if you're looking to get the thing ASAP, you definitely do not have to become a patron. Okay. Start a new game. Yeah, I don't think Gatorade is bad. It's just the problem with Gatorade is that there's a decent amount of sugar in it. And sugar can be not great for hangovers, either pre or post or during. It's not ideal. Gatorade really, I mean, Gatorade is pretty fucking cool, don't get me wrong. I like Gatorade, but they really nailed the marketing where it's almost like a lot of people think it's like a health drink. And I don't know if I would go that far. It does have electrolytes, and it has salt, and it has some other stuff. But yes, Pedialyte would be where you want to go with that, because Pedialyte has all the good shit you need, and it does not have nearly as much sugar. Oh, McDonald's, any greasy foods, that's a good... Oh, I have a Monster. Ooh, maybe I will get that right now. Then I'm going to be really wired. It's like, we're going to find this bug so fast. Ow. Alright, let's try. For the sake of consistency, we're going to... So you can see here, now the brows are wrong. This is like the clipping that you would have seen before. And also this is what the default head looks like, which, in my opinion, not as cool. I'm trying to think if this does end up being it. Some workarounds that I can think about. So we are going to Wood Elf. We're gonna go, nope. Yeah. It's gotta be Tyler Dirt Elf. Shotgun and Mountain Dew. No, like the streamer's house that we were at like a couple weeks ago, right? Mr. Courage Jack Dunlop himself, and he had his giant stack of courageous Mountain Dew flavored Game Fuel. I really should have tried one. That was my opportunity to try the true gamer Game Fuel. Okay, let's see what happens. The Return of the King. A true American would snort G Fuel. Yep. Okay, so I think it's fair to assume... Ooh, how beautiful. It is fair to assume that trying to force the high poly heads in that fashion is causing an issue. That is tricky, because I want that to be the default. However, it is clear that we're not going to be able to do it that way. So, I'm going to have to think of a solution there. That's going to be my job to do. I think high poly heads may be crashing your game. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, you nailed it, Derpius. Okay, next test. We might be able to kind of do it from here. If I... switch to... So yeah, now it's a question is like, does it not like that I'm replacing the default heads with it? Or is it just that the head itself is actually causing problems? Face part. That's it, right? Vampire. Alright, so there's the high poly head. Like, that's okay. But when I try to replace them, it causes an issue. It's not... Okay, here's what would be the easy solution. Quote unquote easy. Off the top of my head, it would be being able to change what the default settings are in race menu. Because all we're doing here, all we need... Oh, look. A deer. What we need is to have that setting that we just adjusted set by default. I mean, something has to determine like what each of these default settings is. It may be as simple as like a script. Let's go ahead and take a look. Nord. No, body, head. This slider, so it starts out on 0. We would like it to start out on, it starts out on 1. We'd like it to start out on 3. For, as far as I know, every race. I think that is it. Every race and every gender. Let's see. 3. Yeah, that's correct. Just do a quick smattering here. Really, we should do every single one, but I think I can reasonably confirm. Yes. And then also is the same true for females. Sorry, women. Beast races. Oh yeah, good point. Argonian, just in case. Shit, you're right. That is really annoying. Maybe you can set it on a race-to-race basis. Uh-oh, this is getting tricky. Hello, Darth Chloe. Welcome back. Custom races are like tricky. I can't really say. I've not really tried to use them before, Murray, but you can try and see what happens. They'd probably need to be patched for Requiem, though, that's for sure. They would need some attention. Any sort of race, there's certain things that need to be there. Huh. Another option... Sorry, I'm thinking about how I might fix this. Another option would be... Yeah, these textures really need some attention, don't they? Creating a separate record that is... It loads first before Skyrim's version. Which is probably, it's probably determined, like, if I have to guess, the order that these face parts load in is based on where these things are in the load order. So that's probably, I mean, we could kind of fuck with it a little bit, but that would be a really hacky workaround. Let's go ahead and do, I think I know how to crash the game, straight up. Check this out. I noticed this earlier when I was messing around with things. So if I go to Nord, I'm going to go woman, and I'm going to go to head. There's a lot of head variations. Some of them for Volkihar vampires, right? Have some unique ones. I'm pretty sure if I go all the way to the right here, it's going to crash the game. Yep. I don't know what that one is that crashes the game. Unfortunately, I can't tell because it crashes. But hopefully no one ever adjusts that setting. Yeah, it's a quick way to go back out to desktop. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Script source. Open Modern Explorer. Put that here. And I override race menu base. I really have no fucking clue. On knit. Category mount. Okay, none of that. Welcome to Alt Sky. Don't touch this face! I suppose... You know what I could do? I actually might be able to find out what's doing it. Just for fun. We'll just do this really fast, just in case. What were those called? It's like... Let's go to our data tab. I think it's like female... Wait, no. Head? Yeah. Actors, character. Character assets. Face parts. That's not it. It's, face gen morphs? Morphs? Nah. Does anyone remember what the names were of those files? It's like, is it head female? Let's see if anything shows up. No, that's not it. No. Female head. No, none of that is correct. Oh yeah, it's great. Great songs. It is Animal Crossing. Sounds like OG Animal Crossing on the GameCube. Or N64. Have I showed this off to you guys before? This is one of my prized possessions. I think I have, but I'm going to do it anyway, just in case. Check this out. This is my little... One of the things I picked up in Japan is a sealed N64 copy of Animal Crossing. Because I don't know if all you guys know this. Original Animal Crossing came out on the N64 as well as GameCube. Only GameCube here in North America and elsewhere in the world. Yeah, this is my sick flex. Here, I'll hold it up so you can see it. It's really cute. Try and get the glare off of there. Check out the back here. It's rad. I have one of these, and then my boy Roland has one of these. Look at that. Yeah, it's crazy, right? It's one of the wildest things was going... Hold on, I want to make sure I don't pull out this cable. We were at a game store in Akihabara, and there was, like, on one of the CRTs, like, Animal Crossing Japan, the Japanese N64 Animal Crossing was playing, or, like, it was, like, the demo screen, and we were like, what the fuck? What is this? Okay. Here. Let's take a look at this. Game reload on startup. See prefix. This is a complex mod. Menu initialize. War paint request. Slider change. This all looks like kind of core functionality. Oh, it's making me dizzy. Add hand paint. This is not... Add slider. Yeah, this is like... it almost strikes me as a repository of functions as opposed to a repository of default settings. So what we can do... Where's menu load? No, it's just the load function. Erase menu. Max presets 4, max morphs, tint. On startup. That's a bunch of shit that is supposed to fire if it's not good, if it doesn't have its stuff that it needs. Load defaults. This is an interesting one. Save here, save hash. Load default types, tint types. Okay. Load type. These are all tint masks. Eye socket, war paint. This is nice praxis. Is there a fishing mod for Skyrim SE? There is. You could use hunting in Skyrim, but I'm actually kind of holding out hope that the author of Hunting in Skyrim is supposed to be making a separate, new, streamlined version, and I didn't include Hunting in Skyrim for that reason. I was hoping that I might be able to get away with kind of waiting a little bit and getting that one instead. Excuse me. Okay, this also still does not seem like I'm getting... any default settings here. It's a NIF override, NI override. Whoa, mama. This is a bunch of shit that I don't understand. Nah. You know what? I may just have to kind of check on this on my own time. Alright, we got character gen is like the final one. I think that's all 5. Save character. This one does not look very long. Load preset. Save preset. Load character preset. Well, I don't know. I'm going to have to dig through this, to be honest, and it's not going to be tremendously interesting for me to do on stream. Maybe I can ask some of the other list authors. They might have some insight here as to, like, how to adjust the default settings. But even then, like, again, that's not a perfect solution. Because unless I can do it on a race-to-race basis, which I'm not sure I'll be able to do. So this one's tricky, y'all. This is like a... because I really want this to be this way. I suppose in the grand scheme, it is not, like, tremendously high priority. Let me also do this. At least I might be able to solve the polyhead. Meshes, actors, character, face gen. Oh, that is it. I think face parts. It's KL. No, this isn't it. Polyhead, beards, face parts. Oh, it's probably in this BSA. That's why. Okay. Thanks for hanging out, Darth Chloe. It is also, the case is yellow to start with, and I don't let any sunlight get on it. So, hopefully, it'll stay in nice, pristine condition. Stock game feature or root builder plugins used don't need to copy game. Yes, great Padinsky. Ideally, it's going to be, I'm not sure which method we're going to do it. Either that or we are going to do it ourselves with the launcher. I'm not sure exactly how we're going to go about it yet, but we're going to do something to where people don't have to do that stuff. I'm not sure, actually, Sergeant Muffington. It's not going to have a heart attack. You'll still be able to do it. But it doesn't have like full controller support the way that some of the old versions did yet. Yes, I will put the VOD up, Reveal. The reason that the other ones didn't is because like sometimes I get crazy weird copyright stuff from the music that I play. Like the Metal Gear Solid one did it, and like I don't even care anymore about the monetization. I'm just gonna throw it up there. It's just not worth the effort. It'd be nice to get the additional ad revenue from it, but like whatever. I'm not gonna bother contesting it anymore. The BSA could contain scripts for sure, but the scripts for high poly head I'm not as concerned about. I want to see the file path. So that's what I'm going to do. To try and figure out, this is specifically to find out what is crashing the game when we select that one head part. See, this is all even. I don't need to extract it. FaceGen, morphs, high poly head.esm. Okay, I guess that's maybe it. Morphs, KL. It's so weird. Like, should be more than that. Oh yeah, here we go. Male organic, it's got male head. Mask, eyebrows. Where's like beards, face parts? Here we go. Am I crazy? Am I just like not seeing it? Male head Khajiit. Alright, whatever. Hold on. Textures? Is it really all that? Nah. Okay. Just really fast. Humor me, y'all. Gotcha, great Padinsky. I'm gonna start out the game. I'm gonna check and see what the name of these files are. And then I'm going to use that to try and isolate the thing, just to make it so that people don't crash their game if they go that far on the slider. Could be, it's a matter of getting the file name, really. And then after that, I suppose we can go and, I mean, we can do some gameplay, because there's a couple things I wanted to test, like gameplay elements, stuff with followers and with the RP chopping and mining. I wanted to make sure those work properly. So we can do that on stream. What time is it? 2 o'clock, practically. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum. Is that German? You know, I went to school, or when I was in high school, I took German class for 4 years. But I really only learned a lot of German in the first year, because then our teacher retired. She was an excellent teacher. She was getting up there, and I think was over it. So she retired. And then my German teacher starting sophomore year of high school was a really nice guy, but he was like a college professor and not really equipped to deal with shitty high school kids. So being shitty high school kids, we mostly just didn't do that much work. And he was just kind of like, whatever. Okay. Nice. Oh, I'm glad you're still lurking, Chloe. We don't mean to keep you either. If you got to get to bed, I understand, but you're more than welcome to stay. I mean, for not being able to speak English at all, your English is certainly better than my German. I know more Spanish than I do German. That's just because I grew up in East LA. Okay. Okay. Head. Face part. Female head Nord. Yeah, I mean, that's... Is it really just 00 KLH female head Nord? Okay, let's try that. Then why would this not show up? I do not understand that it did not work the way that I thought it would. Isn't that what it just said? 00 KLH. Yeah, so it's not a file. It is something else is being loaded. What we have to do... I know how to find it, but it's more annoying still. Nope. Yeah, it makes sense to me. It would be a really good resource for learning English. Oh man, that is rough. Great Padinsky. Yeah, I mean, we had kind of like a similar... My poor teacher, he had to teach like so many... like sophomore and freshman students, like at the same time he was supposed to teach the senior like AP German, which is what we were in, right? And like when you have to teach two classes at the same time, for us it's like, okay, you guys are old enough, like you'll just do independent studies, quote unquote, in this like bungalow 6th period. Like we weren't doing shit. We were just like hanging out. We're like seniors at that point, so you really can't motivate us to do anything at all. It's unfortunate. Okay, here's what we do next. No. There we go. There we go. Head part. Let's pick 00 KLH. Did I do it wrong? Okay, it doesn't like me doing that for some reason. This is fine. Female head. Not vampire? Head Nord. Okay, here's what I want to see. File name, high poly head. Oh shit, so it can really just be fucking anywhere then. Okay, new idea. Come on. Yeah, I mean, I would not want to learn how to fucking speak English, that's for sure. Okay, Team Thalmor overhaul. So, here's what we can potentially figure out. Head try. So we want anything that has like that. The ordinary women. These are hairs. So it's probably not that. Chaos hairdo is probably not this either. Could be, oh, it could be inconsequential NPCs. No, that's hairs. KL, that's high poly head. Probably not those. So we can access those. H followers. These are all hairlines. I think. Hirelings. This is, we're really getting into oh my god. This is too much. I'm not going to be able to find this here. Or like I would have to go digging through. Expressions, beards, face parts. Yeah, this is going to be too much. I think we'll just leave that for now. Just don't go that far on the slider, alright? That's the lesson that we've learned here. Male beards, expressive face gen morphs. I don't know. Who can say? Well, I do use XP32 skeleton armory. It's... I don't think that's going to add its own, like, head meshes, which is kind of the issue here. I wish there was a way for us to load it without crashing. We can test to see if the same thing is on the men, but I don't think so. Face part. Yeah, they have just the same amount. 34. Yep. I wonder if the other women do as well. Probably. Oops. Head. Yeah, they have a lot as well, so this is probably going to crash the game. Which is okay. One more, it's going to crash. Oh, no. Oh, yes! Okay, well that was actually, we got to see it there, though. I bet you it's, the ordinary women, then. That's my guess. That actually worked out nicely. Whoops. The ordinary woman. Hairline braids. Ponytail, hairline. Ear left, Aphrodite. It's weird that, does that have a BSA as well? Meshes. No, it does not. Actors, character, face gen data, face geom, Skyrim. Yeah, well, that all needs to be there, but that's for the characters. Weird. Maybe there's something. Oh, female head dot nif. Straight scalp human. Let me see. What if I did this? Hiding these might become a problem, but I swear they should have it like... Nah, I don't want to mess with this stuff, because then if I go to Una, we can check here even. Let's go, the ordinary women. Let's just pick a random NPC. Wait, head part. Yeah. Hairline, brows. Do any of them have... Let's pick an NPC. Elba, why not? With all this chatting, I don't know. Yeah, I barely know what I'm doing, but what I'm essentially trying to do is I'm trying to isolate the meshes that are causing crashes for that slider. This is very much like a polish thing here. Ordinary head Nord. Carry a female head. Female head races. Try. Yep, here's the problem. I bet you. Okay, here's what we need. We need someone who is your Berna. Of Berna's oddments, that's Winterhold. And I'm pretty sure... Okay, so here's what we do. Y'all, we're gonna have a weird test here. We go forward. going to check Berna just to make sure that this will apply. Berna. She's got ordinary head Nord. Female head.nif. Okay, so what happens then if we go into mod organizer? Right here, I believe. Yep. We're going to hide this. We're going to see if we can still crash the game, first and foremost. See what happened. Thank you, Finn. Much appreciated. Ordinary head Breton. I should check that too. Okay. Head Breton. Right. And what does this use? Female head, female head. So these, in all of these instances, unless it's the texture set, but no, that's all the same. That's a vanilla record. That's a vanilla record. So this is the only thing that is proprietary. The rest of this is all, these are vanilla file paths. Those are vanilla records. So something tells me, oh shit, that hiding that female head NIF that we just did is probably going to prevent us from selecting it in the slider list, and that is probably going to prevent the crash. If I had to guess, that would be my money. But it might be, I don't know what the fuck's going to happen then if we go and hang out with Berna. So if we don't crash, if we can't select that thing anymore, then we'll log into the game and see what's up. Yeah, English as a second language just seems really, really unfair and not fun. I can say, I ate the pear in French. Oh my god. Working on a single screenshot. What are you doing, Derpius? Invisible head? Yeah, maybe. Who can say? It'll be interesting to see. Okay. So now, we go to head. Is there less? It looks like there's less. Maybe not. Is it still going to let me do it? It is. It's going to let me crash it. Oh. Yep, it's missing. Invisible head. But we're not crashing. But that might mean that if we go to hang out with Berna, this is what she will look like. Actually, this will be really educational too, because then we can see. I think we should do this. Now we're asking for trouble at that point. Okay, high poly head. No, we need Tyler Durden. Dirt elf. Wood elf. All. Sex. Race. No. Blurst. That should be, oh man, that should be the thumbnail for this VOD. That'd be a good one. Oh no, my hunger and my thirst. Ow. Where's it gonna put it? Sounds like we're in jail. Oh god, that's like the worst fucking one it can be.
There's no rest in your hide. You got it?
Okay, got it, man.
Good. All right.
Shut up. You gone. Can't trap me in sitting of mine. Yeah, I might be able to, Murray. Then I might run into the same issue as before, though, where we froze the game. We're gonna go Winterhold. What is the name of it? Frozen Hearth Inn? The Frozen Hearth? There it is. One variation.
Come on in. We got warm food,
evidently.
warm drinks, and warm beds.
What's up, brah? What's up, y'all? 7:28 p.m.
Sorry, could you describe?
Oh shit! Wait, why did I just get 5,000 septims on my head in the rift? It's because I broke out of jail. Hey, Plot, what's up? Kraldar. Don Golf. Okay, here's Berna. Ranmir. Hello.
I heard the gourmet is hiding out somewhere in Skyrim.
Okay, so she still looks fine.
Fella who... And what? You think will solve all your problems? Aye.
That's what I thought, because like usually they just use that stuff for the purpose of face generation, right? Not necessarily for showing it live. That's why I don't understand
you're not
why
planning any travel.
that
What
one
can I
thing
do for
caused
you,
an
Sesh?
issue. Yeah, so she's still good to go. So frankly, I should probably leave that hidden.
I'm telling you, I heard it. Howling. Those werewolf tales are
Why isn't she looking at me?
Aye. They say the college has been snooping around Sark.
It kind of looks like she's like looking
Mages are
past
very
me,
strict.
doesn't
No
it?
good can come of that.
Maybe I did mess it up somehow then, but maybe that's just kind of what she looks like,
Good day.
this lady.
You see those warriors
Oh,
from
that's much
Hammerfell?
better.
They've got curved swords. Curved
Maybe
swords.
she's not head tracking when I'm not close enough.
Until next time.
Yeah, that all looks normal. Why was she like looking past me a little bit ago?
I'll sell just about anything if it's worth my time. Keep that in mind, will you?
Pretty weird though.
Good day.
Yeah. Now just take it out of... Well, so that's the whole thing is it's not easy necessarily to take it out of the slider. Or it might be. But I don't know. Direct eye contact with Tyler Durden kills you. Yeah, it freezes. Yeah, that's a lot of wind. It is pretty shitty out there though.
I do what's necessary so we can get by. Have to, since I can't count on my brother for anything.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I really cannot say what's going on with that red eye, but you know, we're just gonna... That's separate problem for now. At the very least, they're not crashing there. Oh my god. Can I please, music, rain, thunder, interior rain, weapons, waterfalls. I don't think I'm gonna be able to adjust that specifically. It is very windy outside, but you know. So I get it. Anyway, at least there's that. Now I have a, yo, what's going on? Is someone attacking a horse? No, something else. Must be a wild animal. No, there's people fighting. This person, are you a vampire or something? Who are you? Or is it maybe some sort of Civil War thing going on? What is happening here? Hooah! Oh, I think it's an Imperial attack. Get him! Who's gonna win? Oh shit, the Imperial. Damn, dude, that's crazy. You just killed these guards. I'm getting out of here. Oh yeah, fireballs are no joke. Well, who can say? Whiterun Origin takes straight where you spawn after you go through the Whiterun Gate. Yes, Darth Chloe, except for our purposes, because we use open cities, that would not be... Or it would put us in Whiterun. It would put us in the old version of Whiterun. Right? Here, I'll show you. No plot, I have not. You know, I'm trying to not scope creep, of course. So what, here, let me set that game time to 10. Game hour, oops. We got that, and COC Whiterun Origin. So what this will do is put us in the old version. Let's clear up the weather. So you can see it's very empty in here. And that is because this is not actually Whiterun anymore. This is old Whiterun. Who's still here? Gerda. She is probably going to go use the secret entrance. If we follow her. There's always a secret entrance. Well, the reason for that, Chloe, is because it's not... everything's moved out to the open cities world space. Let's see what she does. This lady. Oh, looks like that is where she's going. I don't know where the secret exit is for... Oh, maybe no. She's got like a legitimate package here. Well, shit. Interesting. She might have to be patched. Oh, I can hear kids as well. Yeah, so they need patching still. So check this shit out. You want to see something weird? So I'm going to open this up. That's going to take us... Yeah, well, so what it essentially does is it just brings everything out into the world space. Right? Hey, I've listened quite a lot on scopes creep. The amount of scope that has not been creeped, I think it's fair to quantify. Yeah, so if I turn around, right? Here's the quote-unquote real Whiterun. Right? Still pretty empty, still early, I guess, but, you know. The kids are stuck in old Whiterun. We'll get them back out here. You know how it goes. Anyway, let me think for a second. I have an idea where... Because you know what's fucking weird? Well, so here's the thing. The lower end PCs I actually am going to recommend it for, because we have a lot of performance profiles, including a potato mode that removes all of the visuals and just kind of sticks it straight and gives you still just the gameplay stuff. And a lot of what you see here, a lot of the clutter and things like that, I will be getting rid of myself, at least assuming that Open City still, you know, sticks around. Where you girls going? And see, here's Gerda. So she made it eventually. As well, sometimes they what's it called? Will find their way into the proper version. Which walls see for these ones? Yeah, that might not be parallaxed. In fact, I think they're Amidian born. They look okay when there's a light source. Let me see. Yeah, it's stuff like that, Joe Bob Unicorn, that I would remove. It's like it's a nice touch, or it's like a cool idea, but it's a little weird. So yeah, check this shit out. I believe this is still parallaxed if the time of day is right. Set to, let's say, 18, nah, 19. It's like, okay. Do these have proper light sources? They do. That looks better. You can see it's kind of like... It is technically parallaxed, but not super, super insanely well. Not the buildings, the ones separate from the road. Like the grass or whatever. I have to... Oh, I know the ones you're talking about. Yeah, that's a really tricky mesh. I think that looks quite nice, though. I know the ones you're talking about, or I'm pretty sure. Try the invisible head changing your race and see if it renders. I very strongly doubt that it will. Check this out. Race. Breton. There. Go ahead. We're going to get an invisible one. Yep. And I don't know why that's causing a crash, but better that than a crash, I think. Tyler Durdelf. Now that is horrendous. Look at that. That is something special right there. The stuff of nightmares. Oh, here. I'll pause the Animal Crossing music. Well, actually, here. I'm going to exit out, so I'll leave it on. Because I'm going to test something. What is it? 217? Alright, I should be able to do this very fast. We're going to close this. Oh, yeah. Totally. King Carmakingdom. The nearly invisible man. Exactly. Okay. Here's what I'm going to try and do. I swear that I had tested the Miss Lady, the Nord version. what's an easy way to do this? Here. Well, we know the purpose of that plugin. I'm going to wreck that plugin that we made before. I'm going to consider that issue resolved for now, Murray, because we're not losing anything. Like, if you want the default head, you can just select the default head. So replacing it there, you know, it's just like, the equivalent to that would just be like, don't pick the invisible head. As long as it doesn't crash the game, I'm happy. What I'm going to try and do now is see if, because, so what that taught me, I believe it's fair to say that, like, replacing the default should not break other NPCs necessarily. So I wonder if there's not, maybe it's because there's a specific record in here that is causing it. So, like, okay, if I do, let's just instead, because there's some weird ones in here. What if I do this? I'll head Argonian, Dark Elf, High Elf. Actually, I'm just going to do it this way. Breton. And Dark Elf. We'll start with something very simple. Just these four. Okay? And we're going to save it. And we're going to see if we can replicate that issue. Actually, you know what? Let's make it Nord as well. Because there's a lot of Nords. That'd be a good way to kind of figure it out. Alright. Exit. Yeah, it's not a perfect solution. I might be able to just delete that entirely from the... I'd have to delete it from the plugin, which is also an option. I can do that. That actually also might be an option for this. But then I don't know what happens. There's a couple different options for how I could solve this. I might just have to figure it out on my own time. But also, I'm thinking there might not be a need to solve. Like, if this works, it'll be illustrative. And if it does, we could just wander around and test out other stuff. Maybe I'll turn off the music in game because I love the Animal Crossing music so much. Of course, the invisible elf. Hello, Zangdar. What is up? Y'all, Zangdar is a crazy E&B artist, lighting artist. We are using Zangdar's edit of Rudy CW right now. Just FYI. So if you're wondering why the lighting and all the environments look so beautiful, you know who to thank. In addition, of course, to the weather authors and texture artists and modelers, and y'all know the drill. Okay. Let's see what happens when we go crazy with it. We get fancy. Because I swear, like, the part that's weirding me out right now is that I swear that I tested, because before I decided to make this change, right, to like all the different races and the head parts, I tested the high poly head with female Nords specifically to see if rerouting the file path would fuck with other characters, like, in the world. And not only did it not fuck with other characters in the world, but I was able to start the game. There was no freeze or anything like that. So I'm wondering if it's not, like, something else. Like, maybe I copied a record that shouldn't be copied or some shit like that. We will see. This will kind of give us an answer right here, at least part of an answer. There she is, high poly head. You can see that eyebrow is, like, just a little clipped. Not so bad. Continue. Okay, yeah, see, so this one works fine. No freeze. I swear, this is like exactly what I I experienced before. Okay, this is good. This is good. This means that solution won't need potentially some other weird shit. That just means we got to figure out it's something in these records. We just got to figure out what. Yes, Zangdar is another Skyrim wizard. Also, I'm sorry, Zang, because I speak very fast. I will try not to. That's a complaint that native English speakers give me. It's the Dark Elves. Always blame that poor Dark Elves. Dude, yes, that is so cool. I've been wanting to... I mean, I do like relighting Skyrim. I think it's cool. But, like, Lux is definitely going to be the future of lighting. Put on your best Texas accent. You speak slow AF compared to a YouTuber. Which YouTuber, Finn? That is really cool, Zang. I'm really happy to hear that. Okay. Next attempt. Here's what we're gonna do. No. Go ahead part. We're gonna do all of the standard race heads, right? Imperial. Actually, we gotta do it one at a time, don't we? Go Khajiit. Go Orc. It's possible it's not the heads at all. It's possible maybe it's like the brows or some shit. Go ahead, Wood Elf. And then we're gonna do... Let's just test those really fast. It'll take 2 seconds. That's all. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, that's it. Anybody's slow compared to Ben Shapiro. Good old Bench. Whoa. I mean, at the risk of getting too political, I think Ben's brain keeps up with his mouth in that there's not a whole lot of connect. I think the mouth is just saying a lot of things that the brain doesn't necessarily find a need to back up. That's my humble opinion. IMHO, as they say. Yes, definitely. I'm not using Lux right now, Zang. I'm using relighting Skyrim. I'm just because we're so close to release that I'm probably not going to shift over to Lux until like some of the next versions. But when I switch over, I will definitely hit you up. Yeah, I noticed that. It seems like Rudy has not been... Usually Rudy uploaded pretty frequently, and has... I guess that explains it. Which is, I mean, to be fair, well-earned break, I think. Okay, so we're going to hop in just really fast. Just make sure we don't freeze. Who is it, Finn? I can't see. Someone tell me. Please. Oh, you already did. Mr. Samuel Streamer. I really will not go there, Derpius, just for the sake of conversation, but I just suffice to say I do not agree that he is a nice enough dude. That I very much, that is not my experience. Maybe some attempt at portraying that to at least certain crowds, but I humbly disagree. To each their own, of course. Yes, Marie. So anytime there's an update, you know, it will need to be, the update needs to be downloaded. Exactly what the pipeline is going to be for updates, I'm not sure we've decided yet. As of right now, it'll be kind of like the default process that all Wabbajack lists do. We've kind of dabbled with maybe some sort of proprietary update pipeline with our launcher, but we're definitely quite a ways away from anything like that if we are actually going to do it. And yes, Darth Chloe, after a fashion, I mean, I'm sure they're working on the official version, like the files themselves, but I do know that Ogre Boss has been working on an alternative. They're trying to replace the the rectificator and have it not function on Skyproc. Instead, it's going to function through synthesis. Or I don't know if they're going to outright replace the old Skyproc patcher, but probably, because Skyproc's pretty outdated at this point. So, maybe if we get the new version of the patcher, that would be really, really nice, because as of right now, my fellow list authors and I do kind of need to jump through hoops to get the old version to work with Special Edition. Old version of the rectificator, that is. It's not the worst, but there's definitely like some tricky shit you got to do to get it working, and it would be really nice to have an updated version of the rectificator. I don't even manually run the rectificator anymore, or I don't run the rectificator. This is a hard word to say. I don't run it anymore. I actually just manually patch my Requiem for the Indifferent bit. To be honest, I'd rather not go into it myself, Gak. Yeah, I just, it's even something like, if you wanted me to quantify my opinions in private, I'd be more willing to do that. But, for the sake of keeping it relatively PG and kosher here on the stream. Small mod request. That I might be able to do, Sergeant Muffington. I feel bad about doing it almost. I almost have. There's like ways to remove it quite easily. But I'm like, Bethesda did make it. They made a lot of stuff in this game that we see. Yeah, okay, so Alteron, there at the very least is a workaround for that. I can actually send it to you. It's like a patched version that Ogre Boss made for us. That's just literally, it takes out the length check, so you can run it, because the ESLs obviously, you can have a much longer load order than Legendary Edition is capable of. Okay, well, we'll just start. Character-y. Yeah, isn't it fucking cool, Conrad? Like, I know it's we might be getting used to it at this point, but like, it's so much better than having to do all the MCMs and shit. All right, it's gonna freeze.
A visitor.
Hey.
Old Golden Inn has hundreds of years of
Okay, it did freeze. It's a matter, and it does seem like it's a matter of finding a character who is well, so shit, it's actually possible that with the first one. Oh yeah, the double music is freaking me out. Well, that is a bummer, because we haven't really done anything super... It looks like Idis is the person that it's having an issue with. Okay, that's interesting. So let's try this then. Oh, this double music is fucking with my brain. Yeah, 100 frames of gameplay. There we go. I actually don't know what adding Creation Club stuff would do. I can't imagine, like, I think it'll be fine. I don't think it'll be patched, for if it needs to be, but, or I know it won't be, but I don't think it's gonna break anything. Can I start the game in COC? Yeah, well, so I think it would be fine, Derpius. Like, we can try that here, just for funs. But I think, hold on, let me look up Idis Skyrim UESP. What? Wait, who's the one at Old World and Inn? That's where we were, I thought. Is that not her name? Yeah, okay. No, that's right. For some reason, I just couldn't search it. She is a Nord. Weird. Alright, well. Trying to think about the best way to do this. Make a new game. All Let me bring my chat back up. Where's OBS? There we go. Thanks for hanging out, Zangdar. Great to see you. Hello, Moon. Good night, Moon. Hello, Moon. Was that old book? Oh, sorry, I'm gonna just... Okay, no, we're good. Okay. So maybe it's fair to say that some of the NPCs are using it if I do this. This is a tricky one, y'all. I'm gonna have to think about this one off stream. If it's working indeed how I thought it was. Because that means I probably can't just replace the mesh. Or actually just replacing the mesh might do it. That would be an interesting... The reason I didn't go with that solution to begin with is because it's more wasteful from a file size standpoint, right? Like, what the fuck? Preferably, I would be able to just reroute the file path, because that way I don't have to create duplicates of the files. However, it is also possible that creating duplicates of the files and just overwriting the meshes, that might have the same, it might cause the same freeze. Well, yeah, if all of the only reason why this was even on the table is is because I assumed that every character in the game would not have their face replaced by the high poly version, because that would be a no-go. You're right, like out the gate. It's very tricky trying to make this playable for the player, but not fuck with the rest of the NPCs. I have not installed it, Conrad, but I did download it. Get rid of all the NPCs, Skyrim 76 experience. Absolutely. Okay, so this is... Oh, shit. Well, alright. Now I'm going to have to do a tricky workaround. Go COC QA smoke. It's probably going to... Yeah. I probably should have adjusted the Skyrim Unbound. Okay, hold on a second. Maybe I still can, but I don't think so. Nope. It's gonna fade me out. It's gonna send me somewhere. I mean, you can see that it's not freezing in there. If it puts me next to some NPCs, it's probably gonna donk it. Yeah, okay, so you can see here that I'm good to go. Yep, and then the second I try to turn around and look at some NPCs, I bet you there's some NPCs behind me, and now it's frozen again. Sweet. Why is it down there? You guys are getting a lot of troubleshooting in this stream. This is a pretty good representation of what it's like offline, so to speak. Nice, Conrad. Just don't look at NPCs, of course. Just run around with your head facing the ground. Well, you know what? It's possible that I didn't test thoroughly enough to see if that was... I bet it's going to be an issue for any of the races then. That is a tricky one. Hey, what is up, Kyle? I'm sorry you're feeling not so great. Delete the mesh, Murray. What do you mean? Like, I'm pretty confident that I know what's causing it. It's not really a question of what's causing it. It's how do we work around this? How do we make it so that when you go to make your character... Yeah, I mean, deleting... If I deleted the high poly head mesh, then I'm sure that the issue would not persist anymore. I'm like 99% confident. How do we get... I mean, I guess it comes back down to the race menu defaults. I think I'm just going to have to figure that out myself. That would be, or at least that would be like the easiest. Also, there is the option of oh shit, I meant to, hold on a second. I meant to go into Xedit, not the game. Get out of here. Is it just one head? I don't think so, Sergeant Muffington, but we can test it right now. Yeah, just all the NPCs can still be in the game. They'll just be headless. Problem solved. Also, I'm not wearing deodorant and I smell. It's a real gamer zone in here. You know? Alright, let's see here. We'll pick a, let's pick one that's, easier to diagnose, like an Argonian. So we'll go here. We will, well, here, let's do that. Breton. Dark Elf. High Elf. Imperial. Nord. Orc. Red Guard. And what else? So just Argonians. So we're going to save, and then we're going to see if we can go kind of somewhere where we know there's no Argonians, and probably it'll be fine. And then probably when we go to an Argonian, it's going to freeze. That's my guess. Anyone want to take bets? What is that, Moon? What's interesting? I say a lot of things, and then I forget what I said immediately afterwards. Alright, Ari Murray says it'll freeze. I think you're in the safe bet camp, my friend. Oh. Oh, that I haven't put on deodorant. Yep, it's not great. Or you know what? I don't know what the room itself smells. I just can smell myself. Not ideal. In Skyrim's defense, this is not its fault. Again, I'm trying to do way too many fancy things, and the game doesn't know what to do about it. It says, no, what are you doing? How can you do this to us? Also, maybe it's related to the fact that high poly head is packed into a BSA. Probably not, though. You never know, but probably. Either way, if changing these head meshes is actually affecting NPCs from a pure performance standpoint, we can't have that, because this is the NPC appearances are not part of the they would still be in there even in potato mode. So that's just untenable, unacceptable. Let's check it. The headless update, of course. That'd be a good April Fool's. As the what's it called? As reparations for not having a ton of gameplay in this stream, I will go all the way to 3 o'clock. It's the least I can do. Okay. Okay. There she is. No. It's gonna be May. This version of Tyler Dirt Elf, I think, will last. I keep forgetting to set the Skyrim unbalanced settings. Hopefully, we do not end up in a place where there's an Argonian for testing purposes. Okay. So Gucci. We are going to go to where's somewhere that we know? Let's go to somewhere we know won't have an Argonian. Probably we shouldn't go to any inns. We can go to here's what we'll do. Set game 2 10. Beautiful. How about that?
to Bellathor's General Goods. Welcome indeed.
So we got these peeps.
Heard there were wolves on the road up north.
Oh yeah?
Stay out of trouble.
If it's a lady you're looking for, you best look elsewhere.
This guy looks fucked
Once
up.
Mikhail gets them, they're
I'm
got.
gonna change his appearance. He looks very weird.
Please do look around.
Looks like some fucked up Steven Tyler. I guess that kind of fits. Boom. Okay, at the very least, I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be a Nord.
Some parting advice? Women?
Look at them lips.
Sonnets.
Bellathor is crouching down for some reason.
Everything's for sale, my friend. Everything. If I had a sister, I'd sell her in a second.
Haha, Bellathor. Yeah, look at this dude.
I'm a bard by
Mikhail.
trade.
It's like he's got
You've
like
heard of
plastic surgery or something.
Yeah,
He's
take
like,
care of
"Run."
yourself.
Prepared to make any deal.
Alright, anyway. We go back out to Whiterun, unless we run into an Argonian. Looks like Goose from Skyward Sword. You mean Groose, Jay? Excuse me? Look at these goats. Alright, so the kids are there. They're not crashing us. Go into the... Oh, shit. Does leaving Bellathor send you into the wrong version of Whiterun? It must. Yeah, it does. I'm not in the right version. Well, either way, it doesn't matter for our purposes. Let me... That's weird. I swear it does not. Geese are a pain in the ass. Okay. Isn't that how you spell his name? You know what, let's just do this. Is it Bits and Pieces? Yeah.
Welcome to Bits and Pieces. I'm sure you'll find what you need here.
What's up, Vanderallen?
Viren said you got here just before the execution.
She's got a little bit of head seam there.
Must have been a lovely first sight.
What's up, brah? There's always, what is his name? Jari Ra. He'll be somewhere around here. Oh, I love that music. It's Morrowind music. Not there yet. Let's go see if we can find him at the execution. Is he here?
They can't turn Uncle Rob here.
Not?
Tell them he didn't
Where's,
do it.
look for someone with a tail.
Betrayed us.
As far you need to go.
He's gotta be around here somewhere.
Stay there.
Or, you know, here. Whoops. Be really interesting if this doesn't crash the game.
Your mother.
It did not. Okay.
You're passing through solitude?
I mean, it could be
Maybe
that
you're
he
looking to make some
specifically
easy
doesn't
gold.
use
Yes.
that.
Someone betrayed his hide.
Alright, this shit's getting weird, y'all. Murray, you would have lost your money. Oh, it's Dirkethus? Probably right. Yep. Was it just some of them?
helped Ulfric Stormcloak escape the city. You have questions? All right then.
Windhelm Docks. Yeah, good idea, Finn. I bet you it's not going to be a problem then. Hold on a second. Help. Yep, there we go. Oh, did I only change to female? Oh, I need a female Argonian. Oh, then I gotta go to Riften. I think you're right. I think I only did the female one. Only left the female one. So all these wouldn't actually do it. Okay. See? Good investigator. Music. B and Barb. Yep. Okay. There it is. Well, shit. So, alright, Murray, you did get your money. You would have gotten paid. Dang. Well, at least we know what's up. And then you know what the next experiment would be? So we know it happens with just one. So here's what we do. We go into SSE edit just really fast. But I mean, again, replacing I was going to replace the mesh really fast, right? This music is so funny for this. But if I replace the mesh, then it's the same problem. Where now, excuse me, suddenly all of the NPCs would be using the high poly versions, even if it worked, and we do not want that. Can I imagine male-only Skyrim? I mean, I can. Be far less interesting. Especially since there's you know, there's some cuties in Skyrim. Just saying. Just saying. Alright, put this here. And then just for fun, we're going to see what happens if we do this. So I'm going to make just a quick screenshot of that. Get that nice and saved. Yes, please. And then we're going to make a new mod. In fact, I'll do it in here. Call this Troubleshoot. Let me look at the... Skyrim is for the boys now. No Serana. No! I think it's not, Marie, because I can use the head meshes for my own characters and have the game not freeze. So I think the meshes themselves are okay. I think something's just happening where the game it doesn't know, it's trying to swap in the new mesh, and like face gen shit is weird in Skyrim, and in the Bethesda games it's one of the more temperamental parts of the game. So something's just, it clearly does not like that we're trying to do that. I am curious what happens if I do this though. I gotta put this BSA out. Okay, so Argonian, it's KL high poly head, which is KL, huh? KL high poly head, female head Argonian. Yeah, so it's not in here because it's probably in the BSA. That's okay. BSA. We're gonna unmesh this KL high poly head, female head Argonian. Nif female head Argonian. Try head Argonian character gen. Okay. And we're gonna extract that to heckin'. Where's our mods? We go source, we go mods, troubleshoot, select folder. So that should have given us, yeah, okay, chill. So what we're gonna do, take that and put that into the root. Now what's the default? So we're gonna go meshes. Here you can see what I'm doing. Go actors. You can even delete this because now it's over here. Actors. Gotta make sure we spell this right. Character assets. And that's okay, perfect. So we're gonna put that in there, and then that should overwrite the default. And we're gonna be able to make sure of that. Could it be that it conflicts with Pandorables? No, I don't think so, Hamfo, because Pandorable is not editing like the Argonian NPCs, or certainly it doesn't edit what's her face, Miss Lady from Riften. So I believe, well, we should see. Let me just double check. Actors, character. Oh yeah, okay. See, no wonder we're missing a folder here. Oopsie, that's my B. That's why we check. Meshes. And then it's actors, No, it's actor's character. And then character assets goes inside character. There we go. Okay, that should be it. Now let's refresh. And it might still not say it's overwriting. It might say it's overwriting, but that's because it's like vanilla. So we go data, meshes, actors, character. It should be character assets. You go female head Argonian. HPH troubleshoot. Okay, well, I'm willing to bet Kirava. That's right. Thank you, Illuminati. Also, hello. Yeah, so I think if, Murray, what you're saying is turn off the default choices in race menu, then yeah, that's an option. It's tricky because they do seem, it's like the race menu really just seems to be grabbing its options from any head mesh that it can find. That's what it seems to be doing, in my opinion. So that makes it very tough to like hide options, because if you're hiding options, if race menu can't pick up the option, that means that option is not being picked up by anywhere else in the game, if that makes sense. Let me know if it does or does not. Simon, I want to use ads and items. How easy would it be to remove your inventory and add it to the world? I mean, you can do anything you want that way, Sergeant Muffington. You can... What exactly... Tell me the specifics of what it is. You can take any item. You can add it to the world wherever you want. You can prevent items from being dropped into your inventory. The world is your oyster. Okay, let's launch. I feel like this is now going to break. Frankly, I should have tried it with a different Argonian, with a different race, because then I would be able to tell if it was overwriting properly in like the race menu, and I can't really tell with Argonians. We will see. I want to put this at the end of a dungeon to balance it. What is it? Staff of Shalador. Oh wow, look at this thing. Yeah, I mean, you definitely can do that. What you would want to do that. So I'm assuming that the mod. What's that red text below what you edited? Oh, you're talking about in mod organizer right here. This red text. That refers to the fact that there are multiple files that are editing this file, right? It's a file conflict. So what we see there is that Wyco is winning, but that means there's another file underneath there, or another mod underneath there that is trying to edit the same file. So what you would do, Sergeant Muffington, is you would, depending on how it's adding the item to the character's inventory, I imagine it's doing it through a script. Most mods that add stuff to your inventory add it through a script. You would just go in, you would adjust the script to comment that part out so that it doesn't get added to your inventory, and then you would separately go and place it wherever you want, either in the CK or in Xedit. Placing things in a particular way is always easier in the CK, but then you kind of have to get everything set up to run the CK, which is not always easy. Definitely your choice, but that would be a very simple edit. Oh boy. Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah, if you get that right off the bat, I can't exactly say that would be super well balanced. All right. See, again, difficult to tell here. I guess there's one way we can tell. Argonian. Right, so it's like, is this the high poly one? It kind of looks like it. That looks pretty fucking high poly to me. Let's try. Get it try, like .try, TRI file. Hilarious. Yep, it is. It's the same. Okay, so that does work. Or it does work for the purposes of character creation, but I bet you it'd be really interesting if it didn't freeze the game. I bet you it's gonna freeze the game. The tri-shape causing the freeze, you mean, Murray? It's hard for me to say. I don't really know exactly what the game... It's when it comes to, like... Because it's not... You can clearly see, like, the mesh itself is fine. If the mesh itself were corrupted, we would be crashing on show racement, right? Also, is this put in English version? No, it's the right version. If, on the other hand, it's something weird about applying it to the NPCs, that's what would cause the crash for the NPCs, which is what we've seen. Yep, and so it's the same freeze. So doing that functionally creates the same problem. Alright, well, we sure learned a lot in this stream, that's for sure. I'm going to have to figure this out because it's very important to me, or pretty important to me, that the high poly heads are what you start out with by default on character creation. I'll have to see about that. That's going to be... I'm going to have to consult the brain trust of other modders and list authors. I'm going to see. There's a lot of people. And like I said earlier in the stream, thankfully, the community is extremely friendly, generally speaking, and very happy to help people solve their problems and figure out what's going on with their mods. So that is something I will definitely look at. And with that, I think it's about that time, y'all. I really appreciate all of y'all hanging out with me, as per usual. I'm sorry that this week's stream was so much later. Thank you for your patience and letting me get more stuff done. I was so excited to show off the high poly stuff in particular. But whatever. I'll find a solution. Have you got a DLL buried somewhere from Oldrim that will kill you on character load? There are some DLLs that need updating, I'm sure. Praxis. But I know that it's not the character loading that's killing me, because that I manually loaded in. It's the Argonian mesh. I managed to load that character in, no sweat. Hey, CT. Oh, man. I'm just about to sign off. But it's great to hear from you. The next stream, that is a good question. I guess theoretically it would still be Monday, in keeping with my schedule. But it's kind of tricky, just because I won't have anything to show off, because I'm literally tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. I'm going to be gone. I'm going on that trip, and I'll be back Sunday, so it's not like I'll have anything completed between then and now. But I suppose we can do a game. I don't know. I might do Thursday. I'll tweet about it and post it on Discord and everything else. Yeah, of course. No problem, CT. Anyway, thank you very much, Murray. I really do appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Hopefully it's still a fun stream, even though basically what we did was all troubleshooting, but that's a big part of this job, that's for sure. Let me see who is... Who is streaming? Oh, George is streaming. Okay, cool. Well, that's definitely who we're rating. Zero Period Productions. For those of you who don't know, George, Zero Period Productions, he is a Skyrim Elder Scrolls content creator, plays a lot of Skyrim, plays what's it called? A lot of Elder Scrolls Online, and just does Elder Scrolls content in general. Looks like he's playing Red Dead Redemption right now, so I don't know what's going on there. Maybe he's doing some RP stuff, wouldn't be surprised. Murray, I will be streaming more once I actually have a release with, gameplay to show off, right? Until then, I really need the time for development. That's kind of been my my through line. But I promise that later, oh boy, there's going to be a lot more gameplay and a lot more cool stuff. Anyway, thank you guys very much for hanging out. I appreciate it, especially at the odd time. Chances are the next stream is probably going to be Monday. I'll probably just do it anyway. And I will see you then. So I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I hope you have a wonderful Friday tomorrow. And please stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourselves. And unless you hear otherwise, assume that I will be streaming on Monday at the regular time of 12 noon. PST, that is. All right, y'all. I love you. Bye. Thanks for hanging out. Goodbye. Bye-bye.
I didn't want to beat up her dad.
Why is that? I'll be down for that.
Well, because you suggested it.
No, he